Bathroom Breaks and Bedtime Tales presents At Last They Truly See Me by Sevastian. The fire eats the world behind me. The sky is a wound, bleeding black smoke and orange fury. My lungs claw at the air, my legs hammer the ground. I run, not from death, but toward my rightful survival. The others, the ones I placated by calling brothers, the students, the faithful fools, stay behind. Their bodies stacked, trembling, burning, the ladder to my freedom. They were always meant to serve, meant to burn. Clearly, or why else would they have done so? Stupid people are like cattle, useful at times for a genius such as myself, but generally just a waste of time, and effort and space. They actually believed the universe whispered in numbers, that purity could be tasted in a mouthful of beans, that I was its voice. Ha ha, silly cattle. So when the mob set fire to the building, my beasts took on their burden. They offered their bodies as forfeit, built their ladder to heaven, and I climbed it, escaping, nearly undetected in the cover of night. Nearly. Aristoxenus is not one of the dumb ones. In my heart I know they move on his command. He sees me, but he hasn't the authority yet I command with my disciples. They are too busy harnessing their rage at the growing fire to notice him pointing in my direction. I smile. I run. He will get the attention of his cattle soon. I do not look back. The night splits behind me with angry shouts. Torches slash the dark. The mob is coming, fast and feral. Ahead, a low field, dark and swaying under the moon, the fava beans, sacred and damned. I skid to a halt. The plants shiver at the edge of my sandals, tender, waiting. I smell them, rich, damp, earthy, thick with the stink of life. The teachings say to cross is death. From the time of my infancy, my mother taught me that to cross a field of fava beans is certain death. I believed her. I taught my followers this. I still believe this mostly. But as I stand weighing the possibility of certain death in front of me with certain death behind me, it all seems too absurd. Was my mother truthful, or was she merely attempting to keep a small boy from wandering too far from our home in a land where the fava beans grew thick? I do not know. Despite all of my beliefs, despite all of my teachings, have I become subject to the very laws I wrote? I think of all the edicts my followers took as laws, as more, as holy scripture. I smile. I wrote their laws, crafted their fears, spun them like threads around their throats, and they wore those threads like garlands, begging for tighter knots. Again, I wonder, did I write these laws because they are truth, or because through them I could establish control? Behind me, the footsteps grow louder. Was my mother wrong? Was she lying? If I run, I can cross the field, or will I truly die? Can I escape? I realized too late that I could have. But he who hesitates is lost, and I have hesitated too long. They burst from the trees, 10, maybe 15 of them, former followers, faces twisted with rage, torchlight gleaming off sweat-slick brows. At their head, Aristoxenus, the boy who once knelt, kissed my hand, sobbed for the honor of my favor. Now he will be my undoing. He points a trembling hand at me. You killed them! His voice breaks on the words. I laugh. They sacrificed themselves. He repeats himself. You killed them? It rips from my chest, raw and bitter and free. Of course I killed them, I say, stepping forward, arms wide, robes flaring. They were born to be killed, born to serve, born to kneel. And you, I point at him, a crooked finger accusing, you were born to believe, but you failed. I wave my hands at the mob growing around him. You were all born to believe. They have fulfilled their purpose. I point an accusatory finger at Aristoxenus as I continue to address the crowd, and now I say with a loud, confident, authoritative voice, the one I have so often used to ensure their continued allegiance, like sheep, led by the wolf in their brother's skin. You have strayed. I point toward the farther field. And look where he has led you, to this field of rotting, putrid death. Their torches waver. The night holds its breath. I almost have them, I can feel it. Soon they will make short work of this wolf, Aristoxenus. He is a decent thespian, but I am their god. I take a breath and wait for their compliance. Teacher, says Aristoxenus mockingly, as if he is enjoying this. His voice is quiet, almost meek, but for that undertone of sarcasm. You say I have led them here, but didn't you get here first? His question buries itself in my heart, in the places where primal fear lives and feasts on opportunity. I look out over the crowd and I know. For the first time they see me, the man behind the prophet, mortal, weak, beaten. No matter what I say now, they will never again see me as the vessel of cosmic wisdom, not the mystic mathematician, just a man, a petty, grinning man playing at being God. The veil has fallen. A man who has used charisma for self-gain, but more importantly for self-preservation in a world full of cruelty. A club arcs toward me. I do not move. The blow lands with a sickening thud. My knees buckle. The dirt rises to meet me. Pain blooms, vast, hot, endless. As the second blow comes, I grin through bloodied teeth, because at last, they truly see me, and in the last moment I truly see myself. Author's note. This story is a reimagination of the oral history of the death of Pythagoras, from his own perspective. The historical Pythagoras is a figure cloaked in contradictions, celebrated as a genius, worshipped as a prophet, and condemned by many as a manipulative fraud. Almost everything we know about him comes from second-hand sources written long after his death, and those sources don't agree on whether he was a saint, a scientist, or a charlatan. This story leans hard into the darker interpretation. It imagines Pythagoras not as the wise, mystical sage popularized by history textbooks, but as a self-invented god, a man who understood the raw human hunger for certainty and meaning, and who built an empire of loyalty on that need. A man who demanded absolute obedience, who accepted sacrifices as his due, and who, when cornered, shed the last pretense of holiness without shame. The image of Pythagoras escaping a burning building by climbing a ladder of his own followers, and later refusing to cross a bean field because of a taboo he himself likely fabricated, captures the deep irony at the heart of his myth, a man trapped and finally destroyed by the very illusions he created. Whether Pythagoras was a villain, a visionary, or both at once will never be fully known. But what is certain, and what this story seeks to reveal, is that those who create gods often start by crafting the lies they most want others to believe.